In any gathering, like the one recently at JKL Live, any gathering, the unspoken words are louder than the spoken words. The insinuation. Now, I want to try and review the 5 people who were there recently. There was only one lady. I think she was Wanjira Wanjiru. She scored the most. She was within the topic. She had no hidden agenda. I don't know why. Out of 5, they should have brought 2 ladies, gender anyway, but she scored the highest because she kept within the topic, and even whenever issues could try to push her out, she was focused. She was focused and never left the topic that was on hand. The second person I'm going to review, Shadrach Kiprono Shadi. Shadrach Kiprono scored the least. He is monetizing his sudden he's now famous, and he used that opportunity as an opportunity to market himself. First of all, he went straight. Before he forgets anything he said, he talked to Babino and said that he had been sent that to Babino that he should not leave that place without 500,000 shillings. That was marketing. Another thing he did was that he said that he is a statistician by training, and he was saying that he can make any president, he can make anybody a president or an MP. So he was trying to tell people out there that after successfully organizing the whatever, he can organize safely for anybody to be a president or even be an MP, any leadership position. He is ready to advise that person using statistics. To him, his was he went out to look for money in the studio. The third person is Paul Mangi. I listen to Paul Mangi a lot because he's Raila's lawyer. You see, it is this type of people that we read the boss's mind. And I noticed, you have to understand that Raila is between 2 hard services. They say the devil and the deep red sea. Because one thing, and some people have said that for many decades, this is the first time that we are having demonstrations with little or even zero participation of Raila. We have even seen situations where people tell Raila, vitu zimepanda bei, panda bei, organize maandamano. So anybody who reads between the lines would have listened to Paul Mangi a lot to try and see if there is a coded message from him. And yes, I read a few coded messages. The message was that he was taking this generation, he was equating it to his generation of Sabasaba several decades ago, and he was trying to say that this Generation Z and Generation Sabasaba, he was trying to say that they are performing better, and he was even assuring them that the elder generation would not interfere. And you know, when he talks of elder generation, it means anybody and everybody older than Generation Z. So you're saying, we are for you, we are whatever, but we have left everything for you. We are wishing you well. We have left everything for you to go ahead. You know, when he says that, it is possible to read his famous client's feelings. That one, we somehow may have read that. And I can say that Paul Mwangi presented himself well. He presented himself well. I could only say that Wanjira Wanjiru presented herself better than Paul Mwangi, on a simple reason that she's not a public figure. You know, Paul Mwangi is so much exposed, so that if Wanjira Wanjiru performed the way she performed, then she gets more marks, but they were equal. I was pleased with the two. Then we come to Boniface Mwangi. Boniface Mwangi, I have issues with him. I remember one time before cameras, I think he poured something on the uniform of a senior police officer, police spokesman. That was bad, and that was indiscipline. I've always, from that time, you can disagree with somebody. I remember that time when he was called Owino, yeah, Charles Owino. So when Charles Owino said, "Are you doing this? See what you have done to my uniform?" Say, "That is our uniform. That is whatever." No. Hata hii maneno ya maandamano, I think these people should, kina Boniface Mwangi and whatever, should learn from Generation Z. Generation Z, especially those from, there's no place I can say especially from, because apart from Kisumu where they threw stones, a few stones, everywhere else, I think enough Boniface Mwangi should learn from them. I recorded something where I said that we have some human rights activists who get funds from abroad. I have a lot of people I have in mind, but I also believe Boniface Mwangi is one of them. Imagine he just woke up one day, took his family to the US for a year or two, and then came back. Let me tell you, one of the reasons why I did not seek for asylum in the US is that getting a visa from the American embassy, it's really hard. I would expect him to be getting a lot of funds from Americans over his activities. Not that it is bad, no, but I think, especially, you imagine waking up one day, deciding to take your family to the US, they stay there for a year study, and then one day you just decide, okay, come back to Kenya. Talks a lot. Lastly, there was Babu Owino. Babu Owino, he's young, yes, and whatever, but I think there's a lot of people, there's a lot of panelists who are trying to remind him, keep off. I mean, we don't even need you. Some would even have said, if they were given time, that they would not prefer a politician there. Sincerely speaking, from where I'm standing, I'll not say from where I'm seated, from where I'm standing, I believe that Paul Mwangi, he's very old, although younger than me, but of course in the setup there he was very old. Paul Mwangi was more invited there than Owino, because Paul Mwangi is not directly connected to politics. So he was trying, and he was even talking of his CV. You see, I've done this, I've done that. Owino's major reason for going to the JKL life was to try and hijack the youth activities. You know, yes, these youth activities and whatever, Arab Spring and whatever, they do happen. But you see, in many cases, even in 2027, they are unlikely to succeed because they do not have a centralized command center. Now, when the time goes and everybody shifts his or her attention to the youth and wants to follow them, it will come up to a place where they will be required to produce a national leader. Hapo ndio kuna kizungumkuti. I also wanted to comment about confrontation between Owino and Babu Owino and Boniface Mwangi. You see, it's funny that Boniface Mwangi had forgotten that he's a politician, and he campaigned to be the MP for Starehe or something like that. So I think those are some of the things we read between the lines, that some of the people like Shadrach may have entered this thing just for whatever, and then suddenly he realized that he can make money from that. If he gets this, let me tell him, take your father here or your uncle here as an example. I've handled a lot of things, and from day one I decided that whatever I do now, my field is different, of course, exposing political assassination, but by now I would be very rich if I would have looked for money. So don't look for money. Okay, maybe that is what you're looking for, but some of us, if you look at my pictures now and the pictures I took, kuna mafuta kidogo. Money is not everything. Peace of mind is everything.